How about now? There we go. You can hear me now. Brilliant. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's live stream. Hopefully you can hear me okay now. All good. Wait for a little delay to catch up. Welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight's live stream is a chance for me to just make my own game. So I've introduced the project in a previous live stream. It's basically a 3D platformer like Banjo-Kazooie and things like that. In fact, it's very much a rip-off of Banjo-Kazooie because I love it. But if you want to check out more about the story and the sort of content of the game, check out that previous live stream where I go into a lot more detail on it. In this live stream, we're going to tackle a couple of things. So I want to work on the camera work as well as the movement of the character. So the purpose of this live stream is for me to twofold. First of all, it's for me to actually get some time to actually work on my own stuff. And secondly, it's a chance for you guys to see me working on my own stuff, not working, answering people's questions or working towards another goal. You get to see me problem solve and work towards solutions, bug fixing, things like that. You get to see that live in reaction in true form. So it's not rehearsed or anything like that. It is pure. Okay. We do have chat open, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's just for us to hang out and have a bit of fun. And if you want to ask questions along the way about what we're doing, if I catch it, we'll answer it. But obviously, we do have question time every Wednesday. So if you want to ask your questions about game development or Unreal Engine 4, ask away on Wednesdays. when we do a weekly show on Question Time. So yeah, this is Project Aurora, and let's go over the thing. And there we go. Make sure I've got my chat open. Hello. Oh, okay. So, where have I got up to? I've done a little bit of work since the last time we met live. So yeah, I'm working on controller. So it's mostly a controller-based game. Got some music in there. I don't know if you can actually hear the music. Let me double check. No, there you go. Turn it up. Yeah, there we go. It'll keep cutting out as I go back and forth, but there we go. So we've got some cartoony music going on with it. I don't know. I've wanted something Banjo-Kazooie like. So let me know if that's the balance is too off there. So the camera work, I reworked it completely from scratch from last time we did it. Made it a lot simpler. So what I've done since then and now is I played a lot of Banjo-Kazooie. I sat down and just researched it, took notes, looked at how they handle control, how they handle camera movement, things like that. I'm going to turn that down a bit. There we go. So one thing I've done is in Banjo-Kazooie I noticed that the camera is always behind the player character. Okay, there's something I need to add to this yet, but one thing that it does is when it collides with the wall, it pushes it, so I don't touch it and it just turns. So it's never like pushed up like that, it's always going to push like round up the movement. And when we're aiming, it locks the camera like a turret, which is interesting. Music's a bit too loud. Yeah, I thought it would be. It's loud in my ears. Let's turn it down a bit. There we go. There we go. So yeah, worked on that. And we got what else we get going? I just tied up the project a bit. So I gave myself a dedicated camera manager, dedicated player character controller, and just organised my folders a bit, just get into the right place with that stuff. So yeah, so there's two things I want to accomplish with the camera work. I'm going to finish off the manual camera. So there's two types of camera. There's manual camera and there's the level cameras. So one thing I noticed when playing Banjo-Kazooie is that there are those two types of cameras. So what it means is that for most of the game, you're using a character camera, which is behind their head. So you can run around and you can control the camera view as well with the stick. And the other camera is a level camera, which basically when you enter a certain area, the camera changes position a fixed point and then will track the player so they can do a platforming bit or cinematic bit or something like that. So that's what we're going to also replicate that as well. I'm not coding multiplayer in mind. This is a single player game. Totally single player. Ideally for console, but that's the idea. So if you don't know, my strategy with this game is to get a working prototype of a level done to take forward into pitching, try and get some venture funding to hire artists, other coders, musicians, things like that to join me on my project in making this thing a reality. So hopefully I can get to a point where I can actually show off the prototype to whoever to try and get some investment that way. Because I do want to make it. I do want to say it's a bit of fun. So yeah. So the thing first I want to fix though before I go on to the level cameras is when we are controlling the camera here, when I push say forwards like if I were to go like here and I push left, I want the camera to slowly turn to allow the camera view to sort of go behind the player a bit, maybe. I don't know. I have to play Banjo-Kazooie again to remind myself how they did it. Maybe we won't start with that. Maybe we'll start with level cameras. So if you don't know about the star thing is called Polaris, who's a character that aids you on your adventure. Polaris is named after the North Star, and they sort of guide you in the way. The whole premise of the game is you go around collecting stars that are falling from the sky because of evil things. There'll be combat, there'll be enemies, there'll be puzzle solving, jump platforming, Very, very Banjo-Kazooie like. Okay, so level cameras. So in here, we're going to go and work on a level camera. So the level camera is going to be a bit different in the sense that it is going to be a spatial thing. So I need an actor, and we'll quiz one a level camera. Oh, thank you, Political Puppet Theatre. Thank you for the donation. I'm glad you like the tutorials. We've got tons more to come. Thank you so much. So the level camera, the way I'm thinking about doing it is allowing it to have different shapes. Cheers, Brett. Okay, so right, let's go into this. So we need a camera. That's the first thing. And alongside that, we also need some sort of collision volume. So I'm going to have this. I'm gonna leave it as is, okay. And what I'm gonna do is have the camera, level camera here, be a parent actor, and then make children of this one. So I could do level camera sphere. And the sphere one will have a sphere collision in it. Okay, so something very different. Put up that to 1,000, nice and big. Okay. Then I have another child. So I do one of each shape, you know, including one that we could do as a custom one, but more on that in a moment. So level camera box. And in the box here, we can add a... Oh, no, I'll tell you what we can do. I've got better ideas. Okay. Delete that. Okay, so in this one, we're going to add the box collision. And I'm going to give it a basic box extent of 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and 1,000 there. Okay. And the idea is that in an event graph, when actor begin overlap, and it's the player actor, so we need to check this as the player actor. So equals to get player character. And the whole premise of this is that when I walk into it, it's going to take over the camera. So the way we do that is, once we do that, we get the player controller. And if that condition was true, we're going to set view target with blend to itself. With blend time. And the blend time I'll make a variable here. So blend time. We'll make that a float and make it editable. The method in my madness will become apparent soon, by the way. So blend time default is going to be 1 second. And the camera, we will do eventually different types of behavior for the camera, but by default, I'm going to make the camera just follow the player. So on a tick event, we're going to get the camera, and we have to use tick. And I want to get this straight to everyone, and I want to do a proper video on it, like a myth-busting video about tick. There's a lot of things people saying, tick is bad, don't ever use tick. No, you use tick, you just don't do bad things on the tick. You're using tick all the time in all variety of things on the engine, always anyway. So it's not necessarily tick is inherently bad, it's what you do on it that could be bad. So you have to be careful what you do with it. So simple repositioning of the camera, we need to have it on a tick. Okay, there's nothing about that, we have to do that. So with the camera here, we're going to take to look at the player actor. So we need to find the look at location rotation. Find look at rotation. The start point is going to be the camera's location. So location of the camera, get world location, and the target is going to be the player character. So get player character, and get their location. And that'll give us a rotation there. So then I'm going to simply just take this camera out and set world rotation to there. Okay. And this will be hard fixed into it. It won't drag yet, but we'll do that later as well. So, for example, if I put this level camera into the scene here, okay. Now, the benefit of doing things like this is you want to take advantage of the details box here. So, if I expand this open and click on the box here, I can change this instance of the box to whatever I want. So let's turn that down to like 500, not 5,000. 500. 500. Okay, so we've got this extent here that's not that big anymore. But maybe I want it to be more rectangular. So in that case, I'll increase Y to 1,000. Maybe 750. Okay, so I'm just aiming to get on these platforms here. Then I'm going to take the camera. So I'm going to click on the camera here. And I'm going to move the camera to wherever I want in this volume. Now, because I've done active begin overlap rather than component begin overlap, what I can also do is I can add extra components to this. So if I want to add different shapes to this and do different rotations, do another box collision. Oh, not attached to the camera. And this box collision here, I can increase here to 500, 500, 500, and move that to wherever I want and rotate it. You're not going to be able to see it, I don't think, because it's so like faint lined. But we can make like a bend shape, so it's now like going around. So we can make custom shapes like that. Just overlap these shapes here. Increase that to 2,000, and we can do stuff like that. That'd be really cool, because now we've got like a really long oblong shape as well, not just this. So let's see if that works. So I'll walk into this thing. Hopefully the camera to take over. I haven't moved the camera, have I? Oh no, I have. It's cool. So now I can do. So you can do your platforming puzzles. So now you need to leave the space. Oh, thank you, Brett. You ruined them for you, sorry. So we're going to do leaving now. So we've got the begin overlap. We're going to do the end overlap. Ooh. So actor end overlap. Again, we want to check that it is the player. So I'm going to take this and copy and paste that down. Because otherwise, if you don't put this check in it, what happens is like an enemy will walk into it and it'll trigger it, and then it'll just be really confusing. So we're going to take the set view target blend again. Take that to true. And rather than self this time, now you just do the player character, which we've already got here. So I can just plug that in like so. Keep it nice and tidy. So when I leave that space, it should hopefully. So it should take over here. If I leave that space. Yay. Now because it's like that random shape, it goes like that. If I go over here, it should also trigger it. Yep. Yeah, like that. Obviously, a lot of this comes to level design. So I need to do various different things like that. Along with this, people, I could see Musavi is asking this equals or cast. Why does that matter? I only want to do a cast if I want to get access to something that the player character has. I don't need to do that in this case because I just need to get hold of whether or not it was the player character. So I can just compare the two, because this returns an actor reference. This also returns an actor reference. If they're the same reference, that's all I need. If I need to get hold of the player character's stats or anything like that, then yeah, I need to get hold and cast to it. But in this case, I don't need to. It's really much cheaper to do it like this. So yeah. Okay, so just reading comments. It's valid. What you want to check if what's valid? I mean, we could do loads of we could do it's valid everywhere, but the player character should always be around because you're in a map that's only got the level camera working. Am I a bit quiet? Sorry if I am. No, my levels seemed okay. Casting on things like a tick are bad. Yeah, you don't want to cast on the tick really. Casting for each loops that are large for each loops anyway on event tick are bad. I would avoid those. Any recursive action on a tick is bad. Recursive basically means it does like a loop inside itself. So avoid doing that stuff. Okay. Now also because I made that that component there, the camera component here, the blend time here, I can change the blend time value to whatever I want as well, so I can customize how long that transition is if I wanted to. I'm going to get rid of that other box, we don't need that there. So the other thing I want to do is I wonder if it's possible to make the camera move around the scene, like the level camera, based on the player's movement. So it doesn't just sit on a point and rotate around the player. It'll check the distance from the player, and if it needs to move closer, it'll move closer. But on a constraint. So again, we'll have to set all up with editable variables here because we ideally only want one actor type of class, and then when we build our level, we customize each part because you won't need this for every single part of the level. It's only when you get to like jumping puzzles or boss battles or things like that. So I wonder if we could do something like that. So let's have a think. I'll tell you what also be nice to do. Oh, let's try it out and see if it looks good. So rather than doing this set world rotation, which is going to be a 1-to-1, so basically it'll always stick to the player, is have it like track the player and like float between views. So we'd use an interp for that. So I'm going to try and do an interp for this instead. And just see how it looks. If it looks bad, it looks bad. We'll put it back. So I'm going to do an R-interp2. The target is this one. The current is the camera rotation. So get world rotation. That's the current. Delta time. There. Interp speed. I don't know. 3. I don't know. Let's put that in there. So now we should hopefully see like sort of like a lag on the camera, and it'll look more floaty, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can turn into a star in this game. So temporarily you can turn into a star, which allows you to go up steep ramps, and also allows you to do starbursts, which you can jump across long gaps with. There's also other things you can do with it as well, but we also got a high jump. So if you hold down crouch, hold down jump, you power up a jump. There's that particle effect, I don't know if you can see that, and it launches you into the air. Everything's all star related as well, like spells and stars and things like that. But I say all that depends on level design. So let's chuck a bit of level design in here. So I'm going to recreate a bit of Banjo-Kazooie because after all, that is the massive inspiration for this. So let's just create something. We're going to go sculpt, and we're going to sculpt the strength up. We can turn the fall off down, size down up there. Okay, so like that. And then we'll get flatten. Turn the size down again. Okay. We may as well do some lighting tricks on it to make it look more cartoony too. I'll show you how to do like a toon shader type stuff. So, like, at the start of Banjo-Kazooie, for those who have played Banjo-Kazooie, you start in your house. It's sort of like a chasm. So in here, like that. I'm going to drag a level camera out. And click on the camera. And just move the camera up. Like so. Now, do I have to set it to... Yeah, because I'm not entered it. I have to enter it, don't I? So, what we do on begin play... Okay, so the trick is, because this is on a begin overlap, we're not beginning overlapping, we're already in it. So what I'm going to do here is on begin play, just double check to see if the player character is already in it. So get overlapping actors of my player character class, which is named Aurora. Which is named after my daughter. My daughter's called Aurora. And then we're going to take this and we're going to just check the length of it, because we're only going to have one character in this whole entire thing. So length. And if that is greater than 0, we're going to do this. But rather than use blend time, we're going to just cut to it. So if you set it to 0, it just cuts to it, which is what you want. Play. And it don't work. You git. Why didn't that work? Maybe I put a delay on it. Delay. Yeah, need a little delay on it. So when you leave your house in Banjo-Kazooie, you go off into the wild world. Yeah, cool. Yeah, basically Spiral Mountain, high West Drop. So when you go back to your house, and I tested this out in Banjo-Kazooie, if you go back to the house, it turns back to that camera. You can just go back into the house, which is there. Or you can do your jumping puzzle up on these bins to get up the top to get the secret life. That's on top of your house. I know that game quite well. You come out of it, and away you go. So the thing I want to do is when you come out of it, is that the camera snaps behind them. Maybe. That's maybe what I want to try and do. So let's put it. By the way, the reason why you need this little delay in here is because sometimes this will load up before the player character does. So you need to put that little delay in it. We usually hide delays like that with a loading screen type deal, but yeah, so you barely notice it. So when we end overlap, we need to set the control rotation. I think, yeah. Set control rotation. And the rotation of this is going to be get player character, get actor rotation. And let's see how that looks. Oh, target's controller. Get player controller. There you go. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So if I come out of here, the camera should snap behind the player character's back every time. So I'm going to turn the camera. Perfect. Nice. My banjo impression. Okay. So I think we need to raise the camera up a little bit. It's too focused on the waist. I think that's not feeling right. So on the player character, I'm going to go to here, take the spring arm, and we can either just drag it up or you can change the offsets here. So let's just Let's take actually the socket offset and increase that a little bit. I think that'll do it. Yeah, that's a bit better. You want to see the world that you're going around. So, the reason why we do a scene level like this, by the way, is whatever type of game you're making, you want to get the bit that is the core mechanic of your game feeling really well. So if you're doing a shooter, for example, you do make sure the shooting feels good. I'm a platformer, so I want to make sure the platforming feels good before I make any levels. Like, it should be fun to walk around in this environment before I go into making level design. So that's what we're trying to work out in this sort of dev environment. This is why you do things like this to test that jumping feels right. And yeah, various things like that. So whatever your core mechanic of your game is, focus on developing that and making that feel fun. If that's not fun, then why make the game? Okay, so yeah, that's what we're going to go for. Okay, I think we should play about with some lighting. What do we think? So, this is a cartoony game. Now, one of the easiest ways to get around cartoony games is to whack up. Well, it depends on what kind of style you're going with. It will need a lot of experimentation. But we can do like a toon shader. So at the moment, we are using just normal shader. So we're getting gradient shades on the player character and things like that. But we could change that, for example. So the player character has dynamic cell shading on them, which is totally possible. We can do that. Next, I could also edit the world settings. So if I go to world settings, go to light mass settings, and just whack up the indirect lighting here to like 20. And do like 3 skylighting bounces. And do a quality of 4. If I were to rebuild that, hopefully that will show some differences and not crash. Should really saved it before I've done that. While it's doing, let's have a look at chat. Oh dear, I feel like I've got hair in my throat. Oh, so uncomfortable. That's right, Anderson. Yeah, that's right, gaming in slow motion. You see a lot of people making beautiful levels as well, and they don't take into account things like collision, eye line, eyesight, things like what you call weenies, which are things you want to see in the distance, like goals to go to, like landmarking. Things like color, using color and lights to signify gameplay. But if your core mechanic isn't fun, then that's it. Okay. My importance. I don't have an importance volume, but you can see like how the lighting in these shadowed bits is a bit more vibrant and weird. Okay. So I'm going to customize the lighting on my main character. So let's just go into edit. Obviously, I don't have a character model yet. But if we just do it for this one. Oh. What have they done here? Bodyguard. I don't want to. Yeah, hang on. I'm breaking their stuff. I don't want to break their stuff too much. I don't have a character I can use. What can I do? I want to work on the lighting a bit. Shadows. I'll probably turn shadows off. Maybe you don't. They say it's cartoony. You don't really give a damn about things like that. So you want to go to the directional light. And it's not the cast shadows. And then just use like the soft shadows of the ambient occlusion. I think will look nice, just nice enough. And the shades of each shape will just be nice. And it sort of highlights just the player shadow as well a little bit. The shadow on the player, by the way, is fake. It's a texture. It's a decal. So you can see where you jump. Where you're going to land. Okay. I think we're going to work on movement, I think. So we can't do the cel-shading of character. I needed a character model first. I need to design the model for this first. I don't know whether to make the character a human girl or... It's a girl, by the way. So a human teenage girl or like an anthropomorphic animal. I think of the animal just to make it a bit more fun, cutesy thing. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what people think. Are you going to use Niagara for the VFX? Yes. Yeah, we can do unlit. Yeah, unlit would be good for this. But I do want some shading on the player character, but we'll do cell shading on it. But I say we can't unless I edit. Let's make our own material then and see if we can make our own material for this. Okay. So let's start with color first of all. And we need a vertex normal world space. And we need a dot product. And we'll put that in base color. Yeah, I think animals would be quite a cool one to try and do. But then it comes to the question of which animal. Just a real quick question. There are many ways to set up an animation blueprint or just animation in general. How do you set it up? That's a large question. There are many ways to set up an animation blueprint. Like specifically you. I set mine up with animation blueprint. With that, like loads of that. Is that what you're asking for? I don't know what you're asking. Sorry. Oh no, I use loads. I use multiple states. Right, for this I need to set up just a color to use. Let's just do like a, I don't know, green. That'll do. Okay, so you see we've got the dot product will give us this sort of like, you want to just cut off the lighting on it and change the coloring of it. Then what's my daughter's favourite animal? That's a good question. She's a bit young, so she doesn't really say much of favourites. Her main favourite teddy bear is like a bunny rabbit, so maybe a bunny. Could be quite cool. Okay, so we need to clamp this value. Oh, I could spell clamp. And I'm going to clamp it to 0, 1, this one I think it is. 0, 1, yep. And then we're going to multiply it. To increase the brightness of it. Increase the brightness values of it anyway. But you can't just drag that in because it'll be too bright. And it'll be clamped, like the values, like yeah, it's hard line, but it'll be too bright to put on things, so we clamp it again. Because you would use emissive maps for this. If I put that into emissive, like that, it'll come out way too bright. It'll look like a light bulb. So then we clamp that back down to 0 and 1 again. And put that to base color. And you get this harsh line across the edge of the, like sort of a fake lighting effect. So the dark part is going to be that's not right. That's not the dark part. Yeah, let's do it on that. What have I missed out? Do a giraffe. Okay. Oh no, because yeah, sorry. This will be replaced later with the actual lighting of it. That's fine. Okay. So we do that, and then we IK to the movements. There will be a little bit of IK. Mostly like the feet placement. Maybe a bit of like stumbling animations and things like that when you got ramps and slopes. Possibly. So let's say this will now go into a lerp. And in that lerp, that'll be the alpha. And then this will go to the emissive and the base. And let's just put 2 colors into it. So color there, color there. And let's say this color is going to be, I don't know, blue. I don't know what color to make her. Do it green. Like that. And this will be the shade of the color. So this will be, there's loads of ways of doing cell shading, by the way. You don't have to do it this way. Desaturate a little bit. Apply that. How's that looking? Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so the thing with this is like the angle of the light. So if I change this value to something else, you'll see it like rotate around. Yeah. So what we need to do is make that a parameter. So vector parameter collection. Hang on. Parameter collection. Topping collection. There you go, collection parameter. And this we need to make a new collection. So in here we'll do a global material collection. Because there may be other ones that are going to use the same thing, so it makes it a bit easier if we just change it in that one place. So on here, vector parameter, we'll give this light vector. Save that. And then in here, we choose light vector. Now go into the dot there. I need to float through that. So mask that and tick RGB. Okay. Give the cartoon effect. Okay, well I'll go through it in a moment if this looks right. If you like this sort of appearance. So you do that, and then let's apply that material now to the player character. Go on here. Just change the mesh to I just called it new material, didn't I? New material. So you get it's a bit too bright, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll go out there, and then on the level blueprint, we need to get the light in here. So get directional light, get the reference to it, get the light component, get the forward vector of it, and then we're going to plug that into the material collection. So set parameter vector parameter value in this collection, light vector, and you connect those two together and you'll convert them. Plug that in, hit compile, and now our player character should have lighting updated, hopefully. Don't look like it, does it? It should be clamping. Why is it not clamping? Crap, where'd I put it? It was in here, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let's set the default value to 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Oh, look. So now you've got that sort of cartoon effect. Whether that's accurate to the dynamic light or not, let's change that. So if I was to rotate this light, let's bring the character over here. So I can see it update it. It should update in real time on begin play. So the dark side is by default facing that way. Push play. Okay, that's correct. It's facing this way. But if I rotate the directional light to be facing that way and then push play. Yeah, it updates. There you go. It's a toon shader. It's not a shader, it's just a toon material. Now, what we can do with that is we can then take, in theory, take this, right click, and can we do it from here? Poop. Okay, we'll make a material function. So if I make a material function in here, material function, and call this one toon shader material, MF for material function. And in here, we're going to just chuck in this. I don't know if this will work in here, but we'll see. We'll see. Plug that in there. Apply. And go back to this material function. Cool. Toon shader MF, and just replace that with this. So every time I want to use that, I just call this up. Or, I mean, I could also incorporate this into it as well if I wanted to. Because obviously these could be textures, not colors. It could be anything. Yeah. So now I've got a toon shader. Obviously, if I want to change the color of the shadows, I can do. Just go into the material. I'm going to take this out of here, by the way. Let's move that out. Let's put that content. We'll make a new folder in here called materials. And we'll go back to the material folder here. Copy that to content. Or move it to content, rather. And then drag that to materials. And we'll drag that as well with it. There. And that into there, like so. So we'll call this one toon material. We'll call it Aurora. I can't say it. Aurora material. That'll do. And we've got the material function. So I can customize the shading color here to be not as leery. Alternatively, you can also take this and multiply it by grey, because that will take this color value, and if you multiply this by, say, 0.5, it will make it darker. Maybe a bit of desaturation, saturation maybe. Can we change the cut? Yeah, we can defracturate. Not too sure how you use this. I don't know what this is, fraction. If I just put a ray value in there, what happens then? I don't know why it would go red. I'm going from green. Oh no, that's right. There you go. So I got desaturated, and that'll go into there. Cool. So make it darker, desaturate a little bit. Yeah. See how that looks. Yeah, no, don't like that. Turn off emissive color. We'll make it unlit, I think. We will make it unlit. Default lit to unlit. Plug that in there. It's alright. Okay, let me just have a look at questions. Probably got people got questions about this. Yeah, you can put a clamp around the movement. I'm actually going to do that with my character, Jose, so we'll go for that in a second. Will we add outlines? No, I'm not going to do outlines. I say that now. Who knows? But probably not. Yeah, and it's 2 band only, this one. I mean, like, you could probably, there could be a way to do it as multiple bands. For now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Obviously, this may change completely by the time we get to the end, but just wanted to show you that you can do it. The way it works, by the way, is you get a direction, a vector here, and it looks at the vertex normal in world space. So it looks at the vertices and looks at how accurate they are compared to the direction you give it. So the closer they are, we're using dot product here, so dot product, if they are closer to being the same direction as that source of light, they will become equal to 1. If they are opposite, they'll become equal to -1. Then we clamp it. So if anything that's below 0 will be clamped to 0, and anything else will be above 1. That's how you get that harsh line, and then a bit of blur between the harsh line. Then we've got to multiply it by 50 to increase the harshness of that line. But because we multiplied it, we want to clamp it back down to 0 and 1, so you don't get anything glowing like mad. And that's basically it. So you're just comparing the direction of each vertex normal. A vertex normal, by the way, is in the 3D model, you have vertices, and each vertices, by default, will have like a perpendicular normal coming out of it, which is basically the direction the vertex is facing out of the shape. By default, anyway, you can change them. And this just looks at the direction between that and the vertex normal and works out what it should be. And that goes into a lerp, which is basically as an alpha. So this is returning 0 to 1. And if it's 0, it'll be equal to this. If it's 1, equal to this. That is it. I'll make that darker. Let's go 0.1. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So anything that was going to be casting shadow, because it's facing away from the sun somewhat, it's going to be rounded up, or rounded down rather, to black, basically. And you get that effect. Native black, that stuff is coming that you've mentioned. We'll be doing stuff like that. Okay, so let's save what we've got so far. So yeah, okay. I mean, we could go further and improve it. And I'll put it into a mature function so I can duplicate it easier. We could probably output this even further. We can make this a bit more lively. Okay, let's make it a bit more lively. So in here, we're going to do the lerp in this part. Do that. Do that. Then we're going to make some inputs. Function input. And this function input is going to be called base texture, I guess. Pardon me. And that'll go into the A there. Then we're going to do all this stuff. Copy and paste that in. Like so. We'll make this also a function input. Function input. And that'll be of a type here to scalar. And the scalar for this will be shadow strength. And we'll put a description in there saying 0, no shadow, 1 shadow, which is going to be the opposite of what we need here. So I'm just going to do 1 minus that. And then we also need a desaturation factor here. We'll set a default value, by the way, for this. To 0. I don't know, 8, 0.2, 0.2. Get like a pink. That go into there, and we can make this a desaturation factor. So we'll convert that to a function parameter as well. Function input. And that'll be a desaturation factor. And this just makes it really flexible for us later on. So, I don't know, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, whatever, by default. Like so. Hit apply. That then changes this. So now, I don't have to do any of this. I can just go, bloop, bloop. No, sorry, shadow strength, not there. Base texture is this one. Saturation factor is that one. And shadow strength is scalar of 0.8. No, 0.1. Oh, abort. What a break. Oh yeah, this slowing down. Now go to emissive. So I managed to fit all that into a single function, which makes it then really flexible for me to add it to other actors later on, if I so wish. Looks a bit weird though when it's unlit and with no texture on it. It'll look better once it's got a texture on it. But if it's just a colour, it looks weird. But yeah. And I'll probably go into here and just multiply this by a factor. Just to tone down the emissive part of it, we'll go 0.8. Sorry for coughing on stream. I've had a cough for a while. It's not the COVID, I've been tested and all that stuff. It's just whole, not cough. I don't think I like the desaturation. It makes it just look too grey. I want it to be just a dark version of it. So, what if I get rid of... we'll change that. Why is this a preview value like that? Can I just do this? It's weird, it's like that. Oh, I did it the wrong way around before, didn't I? Whoops. I'll leave it like that. That'll be fine. That's better. Oh yeah, this was a cutscene thing I was testing out with. Not a fan of it. Okay. Any thoughts you might put together a vehicle that you could both ride and walk in, like an airline, a bus, etc.? I'm curious about keeping the player on the moving vehicle when walking. Yes. Yes. There's a short answer to that. Not in this, but that would be a tutorial. I did a one-to-one tutorial with someone the other day, and we'd done a flying dragon and a moose that you could ride, and it inspired me to make it an actual video because it's cool. Yeah, I could put a constant in that. That'd be fine, but just type it in the same here. That'd do. Okay, that's that. So we got camera stuff kind of done. I think camera work is fine. We'll know more once we start developing use cases for it. Okay. So here's the problem. When I push forwards, the camera goes. It just goes the way of the camera. So let's see if we can fix that. I'm guessing it's because the movement is going by the camera manager. Okay, which we don't want. What I want to do is fix the direction you're going in until you let go of it. Interesting. Okay. Did you do any camera shake? I think your old tutorial is using legacy camera shake. There's a new camera shake? I didn't even know there's a new one. Like, this is the one I'm aware of. Camera shake. Oh, wait, that's new. Ah. I'll look into it. I didn't know they've replaced it. Okay, next. So getting it to carry on going the same direction until I let go of it. Right, so the forward vector is coming from the camera rotation yaw. I do use Maya, yes. I use Maya. I've done this before with someone. I can't remember how I did it. Right, so what if? No. How did I do it before? I've done it before with someone. The hell did I do? Maybe I could do. I could do like a lock direction. Lock direction. No, don't like it. How did I do it before? So, you could do, but the thing is, when it transforms over to the other camera, it will still take over and done it like that. So it will still be the same problem. I think. Right, so I think there was something I had to do differently here. So, get forward vector, blah, 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 blah. Right, let's make a variable. So I need a variable, no doubt. So lock direction, and that'll be a vector. And when I know what I can do. So then on the camera manager, I've got two functions here, by the way. Start aim camera. No, not start aim camera. Event begin play. We can do a function. No. When I get stuck, I like to go into separate, like a little blank area and just brainstorm something. So I'm thinking immediately, like, if we get the camera here, get player camera manager, and we go get view, not view. What is it? Is it just get camera? What is it called? Get target. No, it's on the player controller. Sorry. Get player controller. Get target. There you go. Get view target. If the get view target is not equal to itself, we'll do once. Put that to branch. Do once. If it's true, do once. If not equal to itself, do once. If it's false, reset. On completed, we get a lock direction. Set. Set lock direction to get actor forward vector. Maybe something like that. So we can actually put this into a function. We call this one lock direction movement direction. Sorry, lock movement direction, and this will have an output, a return node of this look direction, and we'll do that for now. Go to event graph, and we'll get rid of that there. Go to movement here, and we do a check on this. Oh no, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll incorporate this into it. Copy that, put that there, and make that return node there. So that one gets outputted when we don't want to block it. So probably do a boolean on here. So lock, no, not a boolean. You don't need a boolean, we just do this. So just go into there. If it's false, i.e. we are controlling it, then we just go down this way. I think. Makes sense, I think. Compile, go to event graph, and then we'll replace all this. I'll just move that out of the way first. Lock movement direction. And plug that in there. Plug that in there. In fact, we can even make this a pure function. Go to lock movement, pure. Plug that in there like that. See how this looks with just the first one. So, does movement work still? Yes. If I go into this camera and I hold down forwards and don't change it. Better. So I just need to, right, so once I let go of the button, then I need to reset it. Okay. So back in here. Well, actually, why make it pure? We can't make it pure. We need to check if because we can't get. Can we get the movement axis in this? Move forward. Oh, you can. Sweet. Okay. So move forward. If the move forward axis changes to we'll make a new variable here. We have to make a new one. Lock variance, we'll call it, for lack of a better name. Call it a float. So if this is true and it does lock it, we need to set the lock variance to equal the move forward. So this is like storing that you've actually what direction you've held the stick, and once it's done that, that will lock that off. Then when I let go of the stick, we need to check if the lock variance is different from the current move forwards. So in here, we'll get lock variance, get move forward axis, and we'll say nearly equal. With a tolerance of, I don't know, 0.05, I don't know. Not as small as it normally is, but there you go. Now going to a branch. There. So if it's true, it'll carry on doing its thing. If it's false, that means that I've changed the position of the stick on the controller. Therefore, I want to what do I do? Do I just want to go down there? Should I combine these two together? Let's have a look. So it stores the lock variants onto the player. Problem. Can't move forward. That's probably because the lock variance has a default value. I guess then what I want to do is check. I need to check when that changes. That value changes. So I need this. I'm going to change the lock axis. That makes sense. Lock axis. Autoplay. What? Do only C++ tutorials for Unreal? Not yet, but they're coming this year. Let's give a Google. So this is not the way I've done it last time. Can't remember how I did it last time. Just cannot remember how I did it. I'm going to try one thing. Let's try what? Who said it? TH Gaming. We'll have a crack at your method that you've mentioned. Let's see if we can do this. So, by default, rather than use the camera rotation, we'll use the player rotation. So, get actor rotation and plug that in there. So, by default, it uses that. I want to then check if the controller's view target is different from this. So get controller, get player controller, get view target. If the view target is not equal to self, we'll do a select node in here. We'll do select rotator. And the rotator will go in there. The select rotator will use, if that's true, so if the view target is not equal to itself, we want to use the actor rotation. Otherwise, we use the camera rotation. Maybe. I don't know. Getting late. Brain's going frazzled. Nope. Yeah, I can't remember how I did it. Hang on. I know I did it with something like. Let's give it that. I know I did it with something like storing a vector and then changing the vector based on the movement. So this forward vector goes into there, but only if we're not. It's something like this. What the hell was it? If I lock that, okay. Go to the event graph and let's swap that out with this. Back to basics. Let's do this. Play. Okay, so simple follows where the camera goes. If I go dead straight forward, camera changes. That's correct. But if I let go of the stick, which I have, it goes all tits up. So I need to take when I let go of the stick, don't I? That's what I need to do. So we do. My cat's going mental. So what we do is after this, we'll see. I'll tell you what we'll do. On here, we'll do a boolean as well. Is locked, and we'll tick that true there, and there we'll leave false. On the event graph here, we'll use this as a branch. If locked is true, and no. So we're only locking it if we're not equal to the camera. Do once, set the lock direction to the actor's forward vector. Then when I let go of it, I want to call this okay. I don't want is locked at the start. I want is locked at the end. I want is locked at the start. So is locked, and we want that to be and there to there. Then we make it default to be true. So by default, it'll lock it. Okay, they're both true. It'll lock. But then if it is locked, goes there. Do I need output as well? So my game is a 3D platformer, like Banjo-Kazooie, basically. So at the moment I'm trying to get it so the camera and player movement isn't affecting each other when it changes. So on lock movement direction, if it's true, right, I'm going to say when get move forward axis, if that is nearly equal to 0 with an error tolerance of 0.02, we'll flip that, so not. See what that does. Good. Let go. Damn. No. Again, this is not the way I did it before. This does not ring bells. This ultimately works. It locks its direction. It's getting it to reset when I let go of the key. So maybe maybe I just do this. Get move forward. Type in move forward. That is nearly equal to 0. Put a boolean in there. For is can be locked. Like that, boolean there. I'll tell you what, we'll put that in here. And then plug that in to here. Lock direction. And that. So, right, it goes through, checks if it can be locked. By default, it'd be true. Can be locked is going to be true by default, and it'll just go through and be fine, because this will still report false until we change camera. When this returns and we change camera, and lock direction is true, that's true, and it can be locked is true. It'll go through here and lock the location of the direction. Every other time it goes through, it'll just do normal camera movement. So it goes through, gives the movement, then comes out the other end. And at the other end, we get the camera the get move forward axis. Every time it gets near to 0, it resets can be locked back to true. In fact, I don't want it to do like that straight away. We want to do a branch in that, because we only want to do that when it's true. If it's false, we're going to leave it alone. Okay, let's try that. This may be the last attempt before I have to go to bed, because I'm tired as hell. Okay, walking forward. That's not helpful. Hang on. Go back out. Push forward. Right. I think I've got them round the wrong way at the end there. So, put that to false. Oh, wait, no. I want it to be true. Let go of the stick. You piece of shit. No. Okay. Right, so when I let go of that, that'd be shit. Right, let's print string this. Print string. No, I said I'm going to go to bed. But I'm determined to get this right. So true. I'm never turning it off, am I? That's the problem. I need to turn it off. When do I want to turn it off? When they're both true. So I can lock direction and lock direction. It does that. When I want to unlock direction, right? So I want that to be false at the end. So every time it goes down there, it goes to false. Then when I'm moving, no, because that's not going to work either. I don't like this setup at all. I'll have to come up with a better way. So can be locked is true when I'm not equal to 0. So when I'm moving, basically, when I'm moving, I can be locked. And I go through the camera. Can be locked is true. It locks it. Great. Then when I let go of it, it'll be no longer true. Fine, looking at rotation. No, because it's just locking the direction you're moving in. That's the thing. So when this is saying yes, can be locked. We lock direction when we want to be able to lock direction. Locks it, great, and then it goes through here, and we want to check whether or not we have let go of the stick, basically, and this does that. So when we let go of the stick, when it says when move forward is nearly equal to 0, true becomes makes can be locked to be false. That doesn't make sense. We've made that false. I'll tell you what we do. I know. Right, on here we'll do an output as well for is locked. Tick it to true there, leave it false there. Then on event graph we do a branch here. And we're only doing this check here if this is true. So if we are locked. If we are locked and we let go of the stick, we're going to tell can be locked to be false. And then that will reset this. Basically, it will reset that and crack on. Because that'll be false now. Then get player controller, get view target. It won't be equal to itself. That'll be true. So false and true will be false, and it outputs here. When we're looking through the camera, we're still holding direction still. Lock direction is still true, and this is still true. Therefore, it carries on. Yeah, okay. I think. Is that it? Is that the answer? Alright, movement still works. That's good there. Hold down forwards. Yes. Let go of the stick. Yay! It works. So I can hold down a direction. It keeps going that direction. Oh. It doesn't transition quick enough. Hang on. Oh, why don't it reset back? Oh, wait, because can be locked is still turned off. Have to turn it back on. So once it does that. Right, once it's done that, that'll trigger that. Then in here, we want to do it here. So it can be locked. It's set to true. So it basically resets it. Play. That's locked. Let go of stick. Ah, you shit. Oh, we had told it to reset, haven't we? Reset false. Oh, wait, that was why it broke. Sequence. Thank you. Do we need to still turn it back on, don't we? Not going mad, am I? That turns it off. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let go of the stick. Nope. That's broken. Right, let's get rid of that, because that's the wrong thing to do there. Right. Oh, I know what. No. No, I don't know what to do. Yeah, see, that's not gonna. That works there. It's locked. Let go of the stick. Movement works. Leave. But now it won't look again. Yeah. Need to make it look again. Maybe when we can do a check to see when view target and player character are the same, we can lock it. Maybe. Is locked. There. Oh, I know. Well, it's false here. There we go. Set that to be true. I should hopefully reset it. So tired. Ah, oh, you piece of shit. Right, that'll do. I'm going to sleep. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I'm going to figure it out and I'll see if I can find the old file that I've done it on before and see if I can recreate it here. Yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone. For joining me tonight. I'm well knackered, sorry. Thank you for joining me tonight. Next time we're live will be Wednesday for question time. So if you have any questions, bring them along on Wednesday. I'll play about this tomorrow and see if I can get it fixed. Next week's live stream is game night. So if you want to play a game with me, chill out, have some fun playing the game, join the Discord. Game announcement and organisation of that will happen on Discord. So see you on there. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you all. Have a good night. Bye.